What's going on, everybody? Dodgeman here with a video for you. And this video is going to be pretty much about PC. So, the journey I've taken to PC, it's been kind of a challenge, but not that bad neither. But there are a key couple differences that I actually want to share with people before you actually decide if you want to go the PC route. Now, don't get me wrong, the PC platform is a good platform, and you get a lot of results out of it, including certain games that were stuck at 30 during this generation, and you get to actually run it at 60 on your terms. Now, the other thing about going PC, whether you buy or whether you build your own, which I built my own, but I did make one error in my build, and it was because I had the wrong RAM sticks, but luckily I was able to send them back, get my money back, and get the right ones, and I haven't had a problem since. There are different sticks, and then there's sticks that are compatible with both types of motherboards, like Intel and Asus, which that's what I have, is Asus. Now, the other thing about PC is whenever you first set it up, you do have to download all your drivers at that certain website, and that's also dependent on I guess which system you have installed on your PC. I'm operating Windows 11, and I know there's Linux and different types of, I haven't looked too much into them, but I know there's different types of systems. So for me, the last thing is, I want to say the BIOS. After you do all the drivers, you do have to download the BIOS, and I've had to put it on the flash drive on mine. And then you have to shut down your PC and then plug your flash drive in and then turn it on, and I think you hit F2 to load into the BIOS. Then you just update it like that, and it'll recognize the BIOS update, and then you're all good. Now, that's pretty much some of the, I guess you could say, hassle things to PC. But then there are more things that can be a hassle on PC also. So, even after you do all that, you do have to install the latest software for your graphics card or your GPU. That's not too bad, but now you get into where you actually need to check for updates and stuff. And for Windows, you have Windows updates, and then you also have Armory Crate, and then you add your GPU software onto that. So that's 3 different places. Now, that's just software. Now, I know some people are saying that, oh, I don't go through all that, and I know a lot of PC players claim that, man, it's easy to update. You just hit the automatic update and everything is updated. Yeah, that's not true. It works part of the time, but just like I had an update the other day with mine, and mine is set on auto, it still did not update a driver that I had to go in and update. And I knew it was something going on because I lost a check mark to my AMD GPU, and it's supposed to stay green or check marked, or it's going to tell me if it needs an update, and then it'll update itself actually. And for some strange reason, it was missing. So for me, I pay a lot of attention to all of my stuff whenever I'm downloading it. I don't really generally miss anything as I'm looking into stuff. Now, granted, I haven't been a PC player that long, but learning how to make sure everything is up to date and do troubleshooting steps and the system manager and all that other stuff and typing in fixed codes, I learned a lot about that. Now, pretty much it wasn't because my system was faulty as I was learning, it's just because I had the wrong RAM. And RAM was compatible with my motherboard, but whenever I turned it to the, I guess, 6,000 megawatts, I think that's what it is, or something in the settings. It has something to do with dual channels. And I guess whenever I turned that on, it made my RAM unstable. But it was fine at its normal speed. So the moment I figured out that my RAM passed the test in normal mode, but it didn't pass it in the 6,000 speed mode I had in it, then I knew something was going on. But it wasn't the RAM that was faulty, it was just the wrong RAM sticks. So after that, it was smooth sailing. And what I have for mine right now is the, I want to say, Ryzen 7 7700, and my GPU right now is a 9060 AMD Swift with the 16 gigabyte. Good for 1440p, and it runs pretty smooth. Now I do press it to like 18 and 2160 sometimes, but I don't always get 60 FPS unless I turn on the, I think it's called frame, it may be frame generation, and I know it'll automatically boost my gameplay up into those numbers effortlessly. But I turn it off because I'm only playing on my 4K TV, which it's only limited to 60 hertz. So naturally, I just have to play it at 60, or I just have to tone it down just a bit to where I don't get any screen tearing or anything like that. But there's a lot of things to consider whenever you do PC, and if you think it can be a smooth experience, sometimes it can be, but at some point you are going to be troubleshooting. Whether it's a update and it turns an automatic update off, I mean, that's just PC. So it's not dedicated like a console is. And really, it really kind of makes you appreciate, you know, these gaming consoles and what they do, because it makes it very easy to just play games, and you don't have to worry about downloading a lot of drivers and stuff like that. It's just, we're going to update the system, sit back, relax, and then we'll be done, and you can play your game. Same thing with other games that need updates. You can turn all that on and it will do it automatically before you even play. So you don't do too much troubleshooting on consoles. Every once in a while you'll get a game crash, every once in a while, but it's not very common. And even on my PS5, I haven't had too much issues out of it. So you kinda just, you gotta give credit where credit's due. And that's another thing. So I am kind of excited about some of this OS hardware, or I guess you can call it software, that they're coming out with. Will it be any better than the Steam OS? That I do not know. But I've been kind of sitting on the bench about that, because to be honest with you, I think that's probably the best experience is the Steam OS. Now, this whole big picture mode and all that on Xbox, it's okay, but I mean, you still have to do updates just like you normally would. And I mean, you do that on Steam OS too, but I mean, Steam OS is pretty straightforward. You're not looking at a lot of stuff whenever you're updating things. It's just update this in your game mode and then switch to desktop mode and check your box for updates, and it'll say what it needs to update, and boom, it's done. Now, you do lose access to multiplayer stuff like Call of Duty because you don't have like anti-cheat and stuff like that. But I mean, still, for just gaming and getting a lot of other games, I mean, It may be worth it, and then it may not. To me, right now, the only reason I'm thinking about it is because I hardly play multiplayer games as it is. I've been playing all sorts of single-player games and story-driven games. Well, I think I'm at the last end right now at Resident Evil 4 Remake. And then I'm going on to Resident Evil 5 and finishing it. Then I'm going to do 6 and so on until I decide to jump to the next thing. But in all honesty and truth, PC is a good platform, but you do need to be aware of what you're going to be getting into whenever you start PC gaming. That's just, there's no way around it. Now, maybe in the future it'll be better, but I mean, right now it's just that it is what it is. It's PC. So you either deal with it or you don't. That's just the way that I look at it. Now, one more thing before I end the video, and this is for PC gamers that are trying to sugarcoat things and pretend like you don't have to go through all this and PC is all smooth. Don't sugarcoat it and don't lie. Just be straight up about it. I mean, yeah, people have different experiences and a lot of people have different things going on in their PCs, but at the same time, you don't really know anything until you actually ask questions and you have to exactly see what they're going through. So, yes, those problems, they do exist, and it may not exist for somebody that you know, but it could be another problem that exists for somebody else that you don't know. And oh, you can say, well, it's a skill issue, but I mean, as far as I can tell, I must have done something right in my build because I don't have any issues playing any games. Whenever I start up Final Fantasy 16, I leave the settings exactly where it's at. I think I may have turned off one setting in the game, and already it's a smooth experience. And I mean, Final Fantasy 16 is a beast of a game, and you're not gonna just boot it up and play it on weak software and hardware that you have. If you want to play something like that, dude, you better just get what you need to where you're not having to jump through hoops and tinker a lot to get it to run right. That is a beast of a game. I think that's probably the biggest game that's pushed my software so hard. And I thought Starfield was going to press my hardware, but no, FF16 actually pushed it the most. Now, my temperature still stayed well cool because I have my Be Quiet 360 cooler on it, and it cools everything off instantly, damn near. So, my CPU didn't get too hot, and my GPU was only at about 50. So, yeah, there's a lot of variances to PC in my opinion, but that's just my journey through PC, and I'm just going to keep it 100% with people. Yeah, I'm not going to try and push anything on anybody just because I like it. You're going to have to experience it yourself and figure it out if you want to deal with it or not. But in all honesty and in reality, you can say, well, there's a lot of PC gamers as it is, but it's not going to be as practical as booting up a console and playing it, especially with the PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox. I think a lot of people would say, I think I'd rather game on Xbox if they're having a lot of issues on PC, especially if it's dealing with some type of problem. And then there's even bigger problems too when it comes to like licensing and stuff like that. Like, I think I've actually dealt with that a couple times, and I've had to uninstall Steam and uninstall the Xbox app, reinstall that, and that still didn't fix it. Then I had to go a little bit deeper into it to figure out what was going on, and yeah, just one whole big mess. But that's just PC, and that's what you're going to deal with. You can like it or don't like it. So I think that about sums up everything I actually needed to say about PC. It's a good platform, but just be aware of all the things that you are going to deal with. Simple as that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you give it a like if you like the content. I haven't been streaming here lately, and to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to stream again. I'm going to try and stream this weekend. I'm going to shoot for Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday, since I haven't been able to do it during the week. Been pretty busy during the week, trying to get things machined out, and hopefully I won't have to work for a couple other Fridays, and hopefully not on Thanksgiving. So we're trying to get to that point now where we're running a little bit slow to where everybody can take off during the holidays. So I'll have a little bit more free time after we get most of this stuff done. But I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video. You have a good one. Dodgeman out.